Let's dissolve a trigger together.
Trigger right now. Take a moment and let's dissolve it. So right now I'm having my own trigger, so I'm going to walk you through the process and let's dissolve this shit together. First thing is, let's just identify what the trigger is. So let's ask ourselves, why am I so triggered? What is the story I'm making? Insert XYZ situation or person or thing. What am I making this mean about me? Let's connect into our bodies. Okay. So what I'm making this mean about me to share is I feel maybe like a failure. Maybe like I'm falling behind. I feel like I'm failing. That's what the trigger is. That feels most true in my body. So question number 2, once you identify the actual story / trigger, is we're going to continue to stay connected to our bodies and ask ourselves and notice through a body scan, where in our body does this trigger live? For me, I instantly feel it in my heart space. And just know also that any trigger you have, anything that doesn't feel good is actually a lie. And that's why you feel such a discord, is maybe the word, because it's actually not the truth of who you really are. You're hanging on to a false story that your subconscious knows also is not true, and that's why it feels so crappy. Coupled with the fact that you're using external evidence to continue to validate it, even though your subconscious mind knows that it's not true, which makes it feel even more lousy. So I can feel the trigger in my chest. What we're going to do now is just breathe into it. You're not going to change the trigger. You're not going to affirm over it. You're not going to make the trigger wrong. You're just going to sit there. You're just going to sit there with it and feel it. We got to feel it to heal it, guys. And even just validating the trigger. It sucks to feel this way. It sucks. This doesn't feel good. But I'm going to sit with it anyway. I'm going to be here with it anyway. You're going to continue to breathe into it until you feel it dissolve into nothingness. Keeping your eyes closed, still being very present in your body throughout this whole experience. Bringing your attention and awareness onto that part of your body that doesn't feel so good. Maybe feels tight, maybe feels restricted. Maybe you see a shape, a color, a heaviness, a texture. Mine almost feels like an anvil on my chest, and we're just going to keep breathing. And once again, no toxic positivity of trying to affirm over it, trying to do any of this stuff. Just sit with it. Sit with it like it's almost an old friend. Relish in it, as weird as it is to say, that you have a human body that is able to feel these emotions, and all these emotions are doing is telling you where your dominant emotional state is. It's just information. There's nothing scary. And also find solace in the fact that the height of an emotional trigger cannot last above and beyond 60 seconds unless you're feeding it mentally or you're avoiding the process and you're not fully being present with it. So just sit with it. You can do anything for 60 seconds. And when you feel it fully dissolve, I want you to just love on yourself, to remind yourself that it is okay to experience this emotion and still get what you want. And that I want you to try to the best of your ability, validate this is the way that I feel. It is normal to feel this way, especially after XYZ situation or person or thing or experience. However, we're going to keep moving forward. However, I know that that is not the truth of who I am. And I'm choosing to let go of this false narrative because it just no longer serves me. And it's also not even factually true. The more you can start to collect evidence of the opposite to really be true, you will find yourself not defaulting to these negative triggers. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you share it with 100 million of your friends.